Janranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev. Jai Gora, Hari Go, Hari Go, Hari Go, Jai Gora, Hari Go, Hari Go. Jayam Vishnupat Paramahamsa Pariyura Jagacharya. Astotra Recitation Samadhi, Divine ISKCON Founder Acharya Jagat Guru AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupat Paramahamsa Pariyura Jagacharya. Astotra Recitation Samadhi, Divine Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Guri Vaishva Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Praying to Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinatha Shyama Radha Kunda Giri Gauravan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Ki Jai. Mathura Ki Jai. Navadvip Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganges Mai Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gauda Premanande. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glory to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Vishnu Pada Krishna Vijay Bhutale. Smati Bhadicita Shamcha Mr. Krishna Bhadicita. Shri Gaurakarana Shakti Bhadicita. Naranam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devyam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashtapai Shabadresu Nityam Bharata Sevayam Bhagavati Utamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtiki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyanandana Salakaya Chakyurunmilitam Jena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sahitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Swapadantika Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajiva Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastuti Tapakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhani Sute Devi Pranamami Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvyavascha Patitanam Vaishnavayo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna Rama Rama Hari Hari Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 4. The Hamsa Guhya Prayers offered to the Lord by Prajapati Daksha. Daksha was given a service to populate the universe. Therefore, he did what is very important from beginning of every auspicious thing. Anything which is very auspicious has a principle which we see throughout the whole Vedic culture. What is that? What is the best way to start anything auspicious? What is the best way to start anything auspicious? Anything auspicious. Anything you want to get the best from it. How do you start it? Offering prayers.
Chanting the holy names of the Lord.
Chanting the holy name of the Lord. Begging for blessings. What did Daksha do? What did he do? Yes. Yes. Not only prayers, but he did austerity. Austerity invoked the blessing for him to have the potency to do something which is good. If you want to succeed for something without austerity, you cannot do it nicely. In history, the only person who attended a post without austerity is who? King Bena. King Bena didn't do any austerity before he assumed the position. But what happened to him? Disaster. Disaster. So Prajapati Daksha, before he could do anything, he went to Vindhya. Within there, he performed severe austerity. The prayer came after, when the Lord appeared. Then he's offering prayers to the Lord because the Lord was satisfied with him. That is the best way to begin something auspicious. So, text 1 to 2, Parikshit Maharaj inquired about this incident, or the secondary creation, which was done by Daksha. So, Vaibhava Goswami will speak. So text 1 and 2. The blessed king said to Sukadeva Goswami, my dear Lord, the demigods, demons, human beings, nagas, beasts, and birds were created during the reign of Swayambhuva Manu. You have spoken about this creation briefly in the 3rd canto. Now I wish to know about it elaborately. I also wish to know about the potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by which he brought about a secondary creation. And Sutta Goswami praises the reply. He glorified it. Because the question is about the Lord. And Sukadeva Goswami is going to speak something about the Lord, about his activities. Text 3 to 17 is what leads to the birth of Daksha, who created other living entities. Sutta Goswami said, O great sages, assembled at Naimisharanya. After the great yogi Sukadeva Goswami had King Parikshit's inquiry, he praised it and thus replied. Sukadeva Goswami said, when the 10 sons of Prachina Barihi emerged from the waters in which they were performing austerities, they saw that the entire surface of the world was covered by trees. King Prachinabhadhi said, was preached to by Narada Muni. And Narada Muni has effect so much on him. So much effect on him. This is how a spiritual master will act. A spiritual master will influence the life of the disciples by his potency. If the disciples are ripe, If the disciples are not right, even if the spiritual master is bona fide and right, nothing will happen. But if there is a bona fide disciple or disciples, bona fide spiritual master, there is always a transformation. Always. Now the money affected or influenced his disciple, Prachina Bharati Maharaj, that after talking to him, he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait. The fire was burning in him. Just like what happened to himself. When he associated with the sages, after that, it gave him knowledge. The fire of Bhakti was also burning in him. He transferred the same thing to whomever he meet or preached to. So Maharaj left for austerity in the forest. He established interim government to take over. He didn't whimsically leave. He set up a committee to rule until the next government would take over. So the Prachetas went to do meditation in the water. By the time they came back, they saw that the whole place was covered by trees. What does that mean? What does it mean? Yes, there's a neglect, no government. When there's no government, no ruler in the community, what will happen? If there's no ruler, every person will become a ruler. And in a community where everybody is ruling, what is that? Shudra. What is Shudra? Chaos. This is what is happening today. All over the world, we don't have Raja Rishi and rogues everywhere controlling and spoiling everything. And what happened? The protesters came out and they saw weeds, which means that unnecessary things, all unnecessary things, irreligious activities are being performed. So they became very angry. And Prabhupada said, when the government neglects agriculture, which is necessary for the production of food, the land becomes covered with unnecessary trees. The tree represents our sinful deeds, our sinful activities. No care, there will be unnecessary weeds everywhere. So the land becomes covered with unnecessary trees. Of course, many trees are useful because they produce fruits and flowers, but many other trees are unnecessary. They could be used as fuel and the land declared and used for agriculture. When the government is negligent, less grain is produced. I said in Bhagavad Gita 1844, Trishugu Rakshya Nijam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam. The proper engagement of Vaishyas, according to their nature, are to farm and to protect cows. The duty of the government and the Kshatriyas is to see that the members of the third class, the Vaishyas, who are neither Brahmanas nor Kshatriyas, are those properly engaged. Kshatriyas are meant to protect human beings, whereas Vaishyas are meant to protect useful animals, especially cows. The protesters were angry at the trees. This text 5. Because of having undergone long austerities in the water, the protesters were very angry at the trees, desiring to burn them to ashes. It generated wind and fire from their mouths. Though they practice austerity, their heart is not completely purified. Anger is still there. Austerity and knowledge produce two things. You want to perform austerity, two things will come. Either the heart becomes purified and soft, or one becomes very proud. Proud means that the heart will not purify it. The same thing with knowledge. If our knowledge is not true knowledge, if it is only a book knowledge, we will not be soft at heart. We also become very proud. If it is a real knowledge, the heart will be softened. One becomes very, very humble. Vidya Binaya Sampanne. One becomes a gentle person. A true knowledge makes one gentle. Similarly, pure austerity starts to dead. The heart becomes purified, becomes cleansed from all contaminations. That is bona fide austerity, tapo divya. Bona fide austerity, bona fide perfect knowledge. If it is not, the heart becomes very proud. So you see people who are extremely knowledgeable are also very, very proud. Very, very proud, they're full of pride. And unnecessary austerity also brings anger. So Prabhupada said, although devotees undergo severe tapasya, however, they are vimanyava, sadhava, which means that they are never angry. They are always decorated with good qualities. Titikshava karundika, suhrido sarva dehinam, jata satrava santa, sadhava sadhu bhushana, sadhu bhushana. Their devotees are decorated with wonderful qualities. A decoration of a devotee is that it has wonderful quality that attract Krishna's attention. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say the Vaishnava etiquette, a decoration that attracts Krishna's attention towards a devotee. It's not about knowledge, it's not about fame, it's not anything, it's not about beauty. It is the ornament, attractive ornament. Sadhu Bhushana. A sadhu, a devotee, is never angry. And we have seen so many of our spiritual masters chastise sin, seriously. You know? Our spiritual masters chastise, proper chastise. Vito Maharaj angry. Ismadev angry. So what is that? What does that mean? They're not devotees? Prabhupada said here, a devotee is never angry. We have seen Swami himself is very angry with disciples. Chastise. What do you say about that? For the services. For the benefit of these disciples. How does it benefit the disciple? When the Guru, you're angry with me, how does it benefit me? You're angry with me, it means you don't like me. So how does that benefit me?
Follow the rules and regulations.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. Devotee is never angry, but Prabhupada is very angry. How is that? Guru never chastise you? Have you been chastised? Many times. So is he a devotee or not a devotee? Prabhupada said a devotee is never angry. Yes, tell me.
When somebody becomes angry, we also understand the gravity of the situation. It's something we have done wrong.
Very good.
Never
Yes.
angry for one's own purposes. They are not angry because of not having sense gratification, or because their own desires are not fulfilled. They are angry for some other purpose.
Okay. All right. The word properly used is a devotee is never angry. The word he used is never angry. So my question was, he is chastised many times disciples, and Prabhu confessed, I also have many chastisements. So they are not devotees? That was my question. Yeah, gave me answer. I still need something more. Huh? Say it.
Is there a spiritual anger? Means
All right. The
on
spiritual
transcendental
anger.
platform.
This is our language. Anger is our word. They are not angry. It is their love. It's a love for the spiritual master, not angry. We may see that is our language. That we understand anger. When someone is talking, is angry. But it's not anger. That is the law. If they don't do this, means that they don't care for it, they don't love us. And we cannot learn. So it is not anger. It is their love for us, and it is for purification. When we are chastised for doing something wrong, we get purified. So how is that anger? Anger will contaminate. Anger doesn't purify. Contaminate. Even the person who's angry becomes contaminated. The environment also is charged with passion. So it's contaminated. But when a pure devotee chastised, it looks like anger. It is love. Therefore, the environment is purified. The person chastised is purified. It is their love. It is true that they don't get angry. Actually, the real future of devotees who undergo tapasya, austerity, is forgiveness. Although a Vaishnava has sufficient power in tapasya, he does not become angry when put into difficulty. Haridas was angry. Haridas, was he angry? Haridas Thakura. He was put into difficulty, but was he angry? No, he wasn't. He wasn't. But he chastised also. He chastised when he was speaking to the Qazi and the Nawab. He used very harsh word for them. Because he's angry. But he's not. This is their love. Vaishnavas must meet many opponents while preaching the glories of the Lord. But Sister Mahaprabhu recommends that they not become angry while preaching. He himself became angry. He himself became very angry with mother. Not only anger, want to kill him. So this is pure love. And what was the result? They all got delivered. All of them got delivered. All their sins removed completely, and they were made into pure devotees. So those engaged in preaching the glories of the Lord should be humbler than grass and more tolerant than a tree. Then they can preach the glories of the Lord without difficulty. Those who are really angry cannot preach Krishna consciousness. They cannot preach the Krishna consciousness because they don't have the purity to affect the people whom they're preaching to. Because we are not going to meet with what we are expecting. Glory is all over. It's not possible in this material world to meet with that. Nobody is exempted. Even the Lord himself, Lord Krishna, Chaitanya, Ramachandra, all of them, but all the pure devotees who came here, they got harassed by people whom they wanted to help. But because they have no anger, they were able to convert us to become pure devotees. Because that is what they have in the heart. What they have in the heart, what you have in the heart, when you are preaching to people, what you have in the heart will be transferred to the people. If we're not convinced about Christian consciousness, we're preaching to people, our faithlessness will be transferred to people who are listening to us. Not Christian consciousness, because that is not what we have in the heart. The true devotees, they have Christian consciousness in the heart. Therefore, they transfer that to people. Even when it seems like harshness. Proper use the word rascal. For people become devotees. Rascal, but they become devotees by using that harsh word. Everybody will not use that word. What is their purity? What is their purity? Because they don't have purity in their heart. They can't transfer that to whoever listens to them. But proper transfer the purity to people that using the word rascal to yes, it's true. They become pure devotees. That is how the movement is going today. Because they have purity, they are transferring that to people. The Prachetas were not completely purified from the austerity. Therefore, they were angry. They were angry and they wanted to burn down the trees, which was not approved. Text 6. 6 to 15. Some Dev, some Maharaj spoke with Prachetas with sympathy. He spoke with them with sympathy. You see, sympathy, what is in his heart. That's the way he spoke to the Prachetas, and they were affected. This is what we're saying. They got affected by sympathy in his heart. So, my dear King Parikshit, once home, the king of the trees and predominating deity of the moon, saw the fire and wind burning all the trees to ashes. He felt great sympathy because he is the maintainer of all herbs and trees. To appease the anger of the Prachetas, some spoke as follows. It is understood from this verse that the predominating deity of the moon is the maintainer of all the trees and plants throughout the universe. How is that? How? Six rasas. Yes.
Gives that 6 types of juices to all.
Yes.
Trees and
Speak inside. Speak inside.
all trees and plants.
Mhm.
6 types of juices he gives.
Very good. So what do we get from that? From the plant trees?
You get fruits, flowers,
Yes.
taste, smell, vegetables, grains.
Again? What else? Oxygen? Yes, it's coming from there. It's coming from there. Yes. It's coming from that. We're getting all this thing from the plant and the trees, because the moon god has placed all these nutrients in them. People who are very civilized, or we can try it. You can try it. On a full moon day, how do you feel on the full moon day? How do you feel on the full moon? When the moon is full, how do you feel? Yes. It is agitating the sense of we are disturbed. Even though, you see, the ocean is immovable, but the moon can move the ocean. The moon can agitate the ocean by the power it has. And if we stay under the moon, you get refreshment. The mind will be very, very cool. The mind will be cool. Do you remember the prostitute who came to Haridas? What time he came? Not the one that, not the first one, the second one. The second one. What time she came? Yes. When the atmosphere was very peaceful, the moon was full. What time Krishna did Rasa dance? Rasa dance? Full moon. Full moon. Why full moon? It facilitates your senses, either for Krishna consciousness or for non-sensing, if you're devotee. So they have a purpose. The trees, the plant, they have purpose, which is maintained by the moon. Therefore, the moon god told them not to do this, even though the whole place was covered with trees. It is not the fault of the trees. It is because they were not maintenance. So it is their own fault. Still, the problem mentioned before that there are some trees which are very, very good. They give us fruits. They give us flowers. So we cannot destroy them, except trees that doesn't bear fruit nor flower. Those trees give distress. Those trees give distress. Fruit trees do not give distress. They are auspicious. They should be kept. It is due to the moonshine that trees and plants grow very luxuriantly. Therefore, how can we accept the so-called scientists whose moon expeditions have informed us that there are no trees or vegetation on the moon? That means that they don't go there. If they have gone to the moon, they will have seen trees, vegetation, moon god also. They will have seen him. They will have met with him. So they didn't go there. The only thing they got was Chandasila, the stone from the moon. We have so many stones here. What is it? You cannot compare it to Salagansila. See how Salagansila is perfectly designed? Perfectly designed with a Brahman thread, like Brahman Dev, and the Kurma, or varieties. Sudarshan Chakra of Krishna, varieties. But Chandasila, all the design, just a stone. So Prabhupada said they didn't go there, and it is true, we agree that they didn't go there, because if they have gone there, they have seen all these things. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura says, Somo Vriksha Dista Tasa Saiva Vrikshanam Raja. So, the predominating deity of the moon is a king of all vegetation. How can we believe that the maintainer of vegetation has no vegetation on his own planet? That is not true. Text 7. Oh, great fortunate ones, we should not kill these poor trees by burning them to ashes. Your duty is to wish the citizens, prajas, all prosperity and to act as their protectors. Prabhupada said that is the duty of a king. The duty of the king is to protect all the citizens. And he said in one lecture, a citizen is a person who is born in that country. That means that animals are also citizens. The plant and trees are also citizens. They should not be killed but protected. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Hari, is a maintainer of all living entities, including all the Prajapatis, such as Lord Brahma. Because he is the all-pervading and indestructible master, he has created all these trees and vegetables as eatables for other living entities. Destroying them means we are depriving other living entities from their existence, which is an interference in nature's law. All species of life have a duration of life. Terminating their life, it is against the principle of nature, and it is punishable by law. So the predominating deity Swami is telling the protectors not to neglect the duty of being the protector. By nature's arrangement, fruits and flowers are considered the food of insects and birds. Grass and other legless living entities are meant to be the food for four-legged animals like cows and buffalo. Animals that cannot use their front legs as hands are meant to be the food of animals like tigers, which have claws. And four-legged animals are like deer and goats, as well as food grains, are meant to be the food of human beings. So Prabhupada said, cows, however, are never meant to be killed or eaten by human beings. In every Shastra, cow killing is vehemently condemned. Indeed, one who kills a cow must suffer for as many hairs, as many years as there are hairs on the body of a cow. Can you imagine that? Who can count the hairs on the body of a cow? Just one cow. Who can count? This is one of the reasons why we are staying too long in the material world. Because of one cow, we are going to take birth as many times as the hairs are there on the body of a cow. And especially this time that people are killing many cows. What is the hope of our deliverance? Very, very dangerous and risky to kill a cow. Manu Samhita says, Prabriti esa bhutanam nibristu mahaphala. We have many tendencies in this material world, but in human life, one is meant to learn how to curb those tendencies. How do we do that? How do we control our bad tendencies? What is the processes to do that? Christian consciousness. Christian consciousness is broad. When you say Christian, it is broad. How do we break it down? Agree. This Christian consciousness, that is the principle. The component of Christian consciousness. What are the components of Christian consciousness that will help us? Activity. Creativity, mercy. Very good. Very good. What else? How to control our bad habit. How to control our bad habit. How do we control our bad habit? Is Christian consciousness very good? How do we do that? If we don't know it, then how can we succeed in Christian consciousness? It means we are doing something else in the name of devotional service or the name of Christian consciousness. So we should know it. How do we control our bad tendencies, bad habits? Many ways. No? Like, yes, go ahead. Engage ourselves in good activities like chanting, very good. Chanting. Oh, okay. We're working very early. Working early. We're 13 minutes late for 13 minutes late for today. So we should start by 3. We started by 3:30. What was the reason? What's the reason for coming late? Huh? Eating heavy feast. Eating heavy feast. You know, when you fast, and then you eat heavy, what will happen to the body? The body will be weak. The body will be really weak. So we cannot control the senses like that. We cannot control our bad tendency if we do like this. If we want to control our bad tendency, then we should be prepared. When you fast, don't eat heavy food at once. Take something light first. After some time, then you can gradually eat. Otherwise, the body becomes very heavy and we sleep. That's why we came late. A heavy feast. So we cannot control our bad tendencies like that. So we need to do it gradually. Don't listen to the mind. We shouldn't listen to the mind, because the mind is not a devotee. So don't listen to the mind. If you listen to the mind, you won't be able to control our bad tendencies. Because the mind will deceive us that, doing it. Yeah, you're very tired. But tired from what? Tired from eating heavy food. Not tired from preaching 24 hours non-stop. If you preach or if you chant 24 hours, will you sleep after that? No, you don't feel tired. You don't feel tired, but when you eat heavily, then you feel tired. Then you have to sleep. The body will be exhausted. The body will tell that, no, you have unnecessarily poisoned the body with heavy food. And that's a reaction. So if you want to control our bad tendencies, Prabhupada is speaking. Those who desire to eat meat may satisfy the demands of their tongue by eating lower animals, but they should never kill cows, who are actually accepted as the mothers of human society because they supply milk. The Shastra especially recommends Krishu Goraksha. The Vaishya section of humanity should arrange for the food of the entire society through agricultural activities and should give full protection to the cows, which are the most useful animals because they supply milk to human society. We drink milk from our mother's breast. For how long? How long do we drink breast milk of our mother? Minimum, more than 6 months, minimum. How many years do we drink cow milk? Lifetime. So which one is more of a mother? The cow. So the cow is more of a mother than our biological mother because they take care of us more than our biological mothers. Therefore, they should be protected, they should not be killed. So we should practice controlling our bad tendencies by controlling our senses. Or to practice controlling the senses. Could begin from if you want to control our senses, what does it begin from? The mind, not the tongue, the mind. If the mind is not controlled, the tongue will not be controlled. The mind, if you control all the senses without the mind, is failure. If the mind is controlled, all other senses will be controlled. Because the mind is the master of all the senses, including intelligence. Intelligence is in the mode of passion. The mind is in the mode of goodness. So even the intelligence is supposed to control the mind, but the mind is so strong that sometimes it controls intelligence. Purport said that Bhagavad Gita 6:39. Purport. The mind is stronger because it's in the mode of goodness. And intelligence is passion. Okay. Oh, pure-hearted ones, your father, Prachinabhari, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead have ordered you to generate population. Therefore, how can you burn to ashes these trees and herbs, which are needed for the maintenance of your subject and descendant? if you create population and then how are they going to be maintained? If you destroy all the trees, how are we going to get our oxygen? How are we going to get our food, vegetables? Therefore, he told them not to do that. A part of goodness traversed by your father, grandfather, and great-grandfathers is that of maintaining the subject, prajas, including the men, animals, and trees. That is the part you should follow. Unnecessary anger is contrary to your duty. Therefore, I request you to control your anger. The modern democratic system cannot be exalted in this way because the leaders elected strive only for power and have no sense of responsibility. In the monarchy, a king with a prestigious position follows the great deed of his forefathers. Thus, soon, the king of the moon here reminds the spectators about the glories of the father, grandfather, and great-grandfathers. As the father and the mother are the friends and maintainers of their children, as the eyelid is the protector of the eye, as the husband is the maintainer and protector of a woman, as a householder is the maintainer and protector of beggars, and as the learned is a friend of the ignorant. So the king is the protector and giver of life to all his subjects. The trees are also subject of the king. Therefore, it should be given protection. Yes. Thus, although the parents are directly responsible for the protection and maintenance of the children, the duty of the king is to see that all parents do their duty properly. Similarly, the king is also responsible for overseeing the other protectors mentioned in this verse. It may also be noted that the beggars who should be maintained by the householders are not professional beggars, but sannyasis and brahmanas to whom the householders should supply food and clothing. They are not common beggars. These are sannyasis, brahmanas who are engaged in preaching work. They should be maintained by householders. Brahmacharis, brahmanas, and sannyasis will be maintained by householders. That is how also they got their own purification from their contaminated activities. They get purified by this. So in other words, the householders taking care of sannyasis, brahmanas are not doing good to sannyasis and brahmanas. They're not doing them good. Instead, the sannyasis and brahmanas are doing them good. Because that is how they get their purification. If they don't do this, how would they get purified? They have no chance of getting purified. This is a chance for them to get purified. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated as the Super Soul within the cause of the heart of all living entities, whether moving or non-moving, including men, birds, animals, trees, and indeed all living entities. Therefore, you should consider everybody a residence or temple of the Lord. By such vision, you will satisfy the Lord. You should not angrily kill these living entities in the forms of trees. The body of everyone is a residence or temple of the Lord. If we want to have unity in diversity, then this should be realized. Until this is realized, we can never have unity in diversity. There will be diversity, but no unity. As far as I continue to see you as not the temple of the Lord, not seeing that the Lord is living in your own body, as He's living in my body, there cannot be unity. I'm not going to appreciate you. And if I don't appreciate you, I don't value you, it is natural for someone who has such a tendency to abuse or mistreat or misuse others because you are nothing to me. For this unity and diversity to manifest, you must see that everybody is the residence of the Supreme Lord. As Bhagavad Gita 4:35 says. What did it say? 4:35? Bhagavad Gita 4:35. What did it say? Remember? Yes, 4:35. Use the mic. Use the mic.
Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul,
Yes.
you will never fall again into such illusion.
Yes.
For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine.
They are mine. All living entities are Krishna's property. If you don't see this, that all living entities, Krishna is residing. If you don't see this, we will never have unity in diversity. Diversity will continue. If you don't see that the Lord is residing, this is the residence of the Lord. The Lord is residing here. We will continue with diversity, no unity. For unity to take place, this must be realized. And that is the sign that one has knowledge. 34, I request we should approach a Tattvadarshi. So how do I know that I have approached? I have submissively make inquiry, and then I say, how do I know that? He will give me knowledge. Then how do I know I have the knowledge? Now I have realized that all living entities are Krishna's parts and parcel in reality. Then we have knowledge. Our attitude towards everything will be different. How we relate with everything will be different. How we treat everything will be different. Because now we have knowledge to see what we were not seeing before. This is true knowledge. As you mentioned before, true knowledge makes one humble. So pure devotees are very respectful to all living entities because they have their own understanding. They know this in reality. Therefore, they respect all. When he inquires into self-realization and subdues his powerful anger, which awakens suddenly in the body as if falling from the sky, transcend the influence of the mood of material nature. One is always a servant of lusty desires, anger, greed, illusion, envy, and so forth. But if one obtains sufficient strength in spiritual advancement, one can control them. One who obtains such control will always be transcendentally situated, untouched by the mold of material nature. We always ask, many times, every day we get this question from devotees. How can I control loss? Yes, that is it. How can I control anger? How can I tolerate unnecessary things, yes, we'll be able to tolerate this thing depending on our inner development. Just like a student who did not prepare properly will not succeed in exam. When who prepare properly will succeed in exam. So, a person who is practicing very nicely will develop the inner strength, which is based on purity. When that is developed, there will be no problem again with whatever comes. Anger will not be a problem. Loss will not be. We can handle it. We can tolerate. We can accept everything as it is. If you slap my face, I will not be angry with you. If you spat on me, I will not be. I can say that is okay. It will happen only due to our strength, inner strength, our Christian consciousness. Not just philosophy. Philosophy will not do it because it's not the strength. Knowledge is not strength. Character is strength. And character is strength because of the purity of the heart. If the heart is pure, it will be strength to carry everything that is necessary. You can accept all situations favorably based on our inner strength, which is developed by strong, serious, and sincere practice. Strong, serious, and sincere practice. By engaging one in devotional service, the Krishna consciousness movement keeps one always transcendental to anger, greed, lust, envy, and so forth. One must perform devotional service because otherwise one will become victimized by the moods of material nature. So we can measure where we are in our Christian consciousness by how much we can tolerate all this. This is how we measure where we are in our Christian consciousness. And we should measure it. We should know where we are. Then we know the effort we should put into it. If you don't know the distance of our journey, you will not get there on time because you're not going to use the necessary speed. So we should know where we are in our Christian consciousness. It should be measured. Devotional service Christian consciousness is immeasurable, but we can measure it because we are measurable. So we have to measure it and see where we are. Then we can move forward positively. There is no need to burn these poor trees any longer. Let whatever trees still remain be happy. Indeed, you should also be happy. Now, here is a beautiful, well-qualified girl named Marisha, who was raised by the trees as their daughter. You may accept this beautiful girl as your wife. When Hiranyakasipu was angry, how did he control it? Ramoni came to him and chanted, Vishnu, Vishnu. Why? My enemy became angry. With that contamination, he cannot control meditation. So what did he do? He came back to the house and he slept with his wife. That is how his anger was removed. That's how he controlled the anger. And that is how Prahlad also entered the womb. So the money planted Prahlad in Hiranyakasipu's heart, and he came through the semen to his wife, the wife's womb. And then after the anger was pacified, so he went back again to the forest the second time. Second time he went back. So while Prahlad was pregnant, he continued with his austerity. And the wife kept Prahlad until he came back. Therefore, we calculate the time he came back, Prahlad was born, 5 years. 5 years. It doesn't begin from 120 years he was doing austerity. It began from when he came back after his austerity, and Prahlad was born at that time, because the wife didn't want to deliver the baby in his absence. So she waited until he came back. Then she gave birth to Prahlad. So Prahlad 5 years. 5 years. So Marisha has been given to the Prachetas to control their anger, to pacify them. 16 to 19, the Prachetas marry Marisha. 16 to 19. So then Goswami continued, my dear king, after those pacifying the Prachetas, so the king of the moon gave them the beautiful girl born of Pramlocha Apsara. And this Pramlocha Apsara, the Prachetas owned the seats Pramlocha's daughter, and who had high, very beautiful hips, and married her according to the religious system. Pramlocha. Pramlocha is mentioned in Apsara, is not the Apsara like we get in the heavenly planet. Pramlocha came from Krishna himself. Because after Hiranyakashipu was killed, and along with some others, there's some who fled out of fear on the second day. So those who fled, they went to the forest, and two of them were two brothers, they also performed severe austerities like their master, Hiranyakashipu. They performed severe, very terrible austerity. And then they tried by all means to persuade them to disturb their austerity. They didn't succeed. They even brought their wives before them and slaughtered them, but they were able to use their mystic power to understand this is just a joke. Yeah, our wives are still there. They didn't stop. They continued the austerity until they got what they're looking for. And after that, they became also like Hiranyakashipu, very terrible. They got the boon. The boon was nobody will be able to kill them. The only person who has power to kill them is the two of them, because they know each other's secrets, how they got their boon. No one else can kill them. So now they're very powerful. They perform heavy demonic feast. They drank varieties, whatever you can call it. They drank varieties, celebrated the whole night. I said they're torturing people. And the demigods were amazed. They were disturbed, perplexed. What to do? So they went to Vishnu as always. Went to Vishnu to report. So Lord Vishnu told them he will intervene. Therefore, Lord Vishnu collected everything beautiful from every object. He took all of them and formed this lady, Pramlocha. So apart from Vishnu himself, she was the most beautiful that time, most beautiful. And then he sent her to these two brothers. When he came to the two brothers, all of them, they started arguing. No, she's coming for me. No, she's coming for me. Because of argument, they forgot their boon and fought each other. That's how they got killed. They killed themselves because they only told them they can kill themselves. So from her, she begot this daughter. The progenitors all received from Lord Charles' daughter, Marisha, and married her according to religious principle. In the womb of that girl, the progenitors all begot a son named Daksha, who filled the three worlds with living entities. One of the qualities of Vaishnava is Daksha. So this Daksha here is that quality. This Daksha here is that quality. So this is quality of a Vaishnava. Daksha. Which one is this? Which one is this? This one is sanctification Daksha. He's expert for sanctification, not that he has a wonderful good quality of being expert pure devotee. This is different. This Daksha is different. This is sanctification. Daksha was first born during the reign of Swayambhuva Manu, but because of offending Lord Shiva, he was punished by having the head of a goat substituted for his own head. Karma is heavy. Is Daksha, a son of Brahma, is also Daksha after this. He maintained the same thing, the same name. His previous body had been destroyed, but he, the same Daksha, inspired by the supreme will, created all the desired living entities in the Chakshusha Manvantara, which is in chapter 30, 49 of 4th canto. Thus Daksha regained his previous opulence and again begot thousands and millions of children to fill the three worlds. Text 18. Sukadeva Goswami continued, please hear from me with great attention how Prajapati Daksha, who was very affectionate to his daughters, created different types of living entities through his semen and through his mind. With his mind, Prajapati Daksha first created all kinds of demigods, demons, human beings, birds, beasts, aquatics, and so on. From 20 to 22, seeing that the population was not increasing, Daksha performed austerity. With all this, he not getting the required population as he wanted. So he went for austerity. But when Prajapati Daksha saw that he was not properly generating all kinds of living entities, he approached a mountain near the Vindhya mountain range, and there he executed very difficult austerities. Near that mountain was a very holy place named Agamarasan. There Prajapati Daksha executed ritualistic ceremonies and satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, by engaging in great austerities to please him. My dear King, I shall fully explain to you the Hamsa Guhya prayers, which were offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by Daksha, and I shall explain how the Lord was pleased with him for those prayers. It is to be understood that the Hamsa Guhya prayers were not composed by Daksha, but were existing in a Vedic literature. Daksha continued with his prayers. Prajapati Daksha said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental to the illusory energy and the physical categories it produces. He possesses the potency for unfailing knowledge and supreme willpower. And he is a controller of the living entities and illusory energy. The conditioned souls who have accepted this material manifestation as everything cannot see him, for he is above the evidence of experimental knowledge, self-evident and self-sufficient. He is not caused by any superior cause. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him. It's beautiful prayer, which is not composed by Daksha. Why? But why he didn't compose it? Why he's not one? Why he's not the one composing prayer? Generally, somebody composed it, but why he didn't compose his own prayer? He's using someone's prayer. It's not pure enough. Yes. Yes. In the fourth canto, when Lord Vishnu appeared before Dhira Maharaj, in one purport, the Prabhupada said, one must have the blessing of the Lord to offer such a beautiful prayer. So Daksha is materially placed. So he doesn't have the qualification to offer the prayer. But because the prayer is very powerful, he did. And the Lord was pleased, even though he did not, this is not his own composed prayer from his heart. This is not his feeling, but it has a potency that he got a blessing that the Lord appeared before him. Yes, that is true. He doesn't have the purity to compose such a prayer. He has not blessing it because he's materially placed. Yes. The conditioned soul may try to understand the supreme personality of Godhead for many billions of years through their mental speculative processes, traveling at the speed of the mind or the wind, but still the absolute truth will remain inconceivable to them because a materialistic person cannot measure the length and breadth of the supreme personality of Godhead's unlimited existence. If the absolute truth is beyond measurement, one may ask, how can one realize him? The answer is given here by the word Swayam Bhube. One may understand him or not, but nevertheless, he is existing in his own spiritual potency. 24. Someone else want to read? Want to read the translation? Yes.
As the sense objects, form, taste, touch, smell, and sound, cannot understand how the senses perceive them, so the conditioned soul, although residing in his body along with the supersoul, cannot understand how the supreme spiritual person, the master of the material creation, directs his senses. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto that supreme person, who is the supreme controller.
Very good. What is the analogy given here? What is the analogy given here? What is it? It is here. Read it. What is the analogy given here? Comprehension you can understand. You see? The same translation. The translation we read now.
As the sense object cannot understand how the senses perceive them, so the conditioned soul, although residing in his body along with the supersoul, cannot understand how the supreme spiritual person, the master of the material creation, directs his senses.
Very good. Very good. The supersoul is living what I say directly. And we have been saying it and hearing it all the time. It is not true that we have realized it. We have realized it, even though the symptoms are there. So similarly, The conditioned soul, although residing in this body along with the super soul, we cannot understand how the supreme spiritual person is existing and is performing all his activities. Out of respect, now, Doctor, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto that supreme person who is the supreme controller. 25.
Because they are only matter, the body, the life phase, the external and internal senses, the five gross elements, and the subtle sense objects cannot know their own nature, the nature of the other senses, or the nature of their controllers. But the living entity, because of his spiritual nature, can know his body, the life airs, the senses, the elements, and the sense objects, and he can also know the three qualities that form their roots. Nevertheless, although the living entity is completely aware of them, he is unable to see the Supreme Being, who is omniscient and unlimited. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
Very good. In other words, the living entity, because of his being a spirit soul, can understand all the material objects, or when self-realized, he can understand the Paramatma upon whom yogis meditate. Nevertheless, the living being, even if advanced, cannot understand the Supreme Being, the personality of Godhead, for he is Ananta, unlimited in all six opulences. Next.
When one's consciousness is completely purified of the contamination of the material existence, gross and subtle, without being agitated as in the working and dreaming states, and when the mind is not dissolved as in Shushupti, deep sleep, one comes to the platform of trance. Then one's material vision and the memories of the mind, which manifest names and forms, are vanquished. Only in such a trance is the Supreme Personality of Godhead revealed. Thus, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seen in that uncontaminated transcendental state.
There are two stages of God realization. One is called Sujayam, or very easily understood, generally by mental speculation. And the other is called Drujayam, understood only with difficulty. Paramatma realization and Brahma realization are considered Sujayam, but realization of the Supreme Personality of God is Drujayam. As described here, one attains the ultimate realization of the personality of God when one gives up the activities of the mind, thinking, feeling, and willing. Or in other words, when mental speculation stops. Yes, to understand the Supreme Personality of God is not an easy thing. That is why we don't see many people following it like others. It's very, very difficult. And it's meant for people who are extremely fortunate. Only when one is very, very fortunate will take to Krishna consciousness. This is indicated in this verse by the word Suchi Sadmani. Suchi means purified. By the spirit of rendering service with one's senses, one's entire existence becomes Suchi Sadma, the platform of uncontaminated purity. Daksha therefore offers his respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is revealed on the platform of Suchi Satma. In this regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakura quoted the following prayer by Lord Brahma from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10.6.6. Tatapi Bhuman Mahima Gunasha Ti Vibhutum Arhati Malatar Atma B. One whose heart has become completely purified, my Lord, can understand the transcendental qualities of your Lordship and can understand the greatness of your activities. Next.
Just as great learned Brahmanas who are expert in performing ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices can extract the fire dormant within wooden fuel by chanting the 15 Samidheni mantras, thus proving the efficacy of the Vedic mantras. So, those who are actually advanced in consciousness, in other words, those who are Krishna conscious, can find the super soul, who, by his own spiritual potency, is situated within the heart. The heart is covered by the three modes of material nature and the nine material elements: material nature, the total material energy, the ego, the mind, and the five objects of sense gratification, and also by the five material elements and the 10 senses. These 27 elements constitute the external energy of the Lord. Great yogis meditate upon the Lord, who is situated as the super soul, Paramatma, within the core of the heart. May that super soul be pleased with me. The super soul is realized when one is eager for liberation from the unlimited varieties of material life. One actually attains such liberation when he engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord and realizes the Lord because of his attitude of service. The Lord may be addressed by various spiritual names which are inconceivable to the material senses. When will that Supreme Personality of Godhead be pleased with me?
The Lord can be realized by the attitude of service. The attitude of service. All these coverings in our consciousness can be removed completely to kneel by our service attitude. And a famous quote from Prabhupada, letter of instruction, famous quote, Prabhupada, famous. Advancement in Christian consciousness depends on the attitude of the followers. Attitude. Advancement, so the attitude of service. That means that one can do service. Okay, for example, Kamsa was 24 hours Krishna conscious. What was wrong with his meditation? Kamsa. Unfavorable attitude. Sisupal think of Krishna 24 hours. Sisupal. Kamsa, he thinks of Krishna 24 hours. What is wrong with their meditation? Something which we are struggling, we are trying to be there. Kamsa is already there. 24 hours is conscious. Even when he's sleeping, he thinks of Krishna. But his attitude is demonic. Therefore, his Krishna consciousness is condemned. The attitude, very important attitude. If we don't have a positive attitude towards Krishna in our devotional life, we will not be able to make it. Why? Krishna is not attracted by anything. Is anything which we have that Krishna does not have? Anything? If you want to give something that is of a value, it's something that that person doesn't have it. If I have this and you give to me, what is that? But he gives something which I don't have. Ah, you gave me this? This for me? Oh, thank you. So what is it we can give to Krishna that Krishna will appreciate? He doesn't have it. What is it? 1008 preparations. What? Or knowledge? Knowledge? Brahma has this, no? But Brahma has this, right? When did the Yesterday became bewildered? Yesterday. When? When Yesterday became bewildered? When? Yes. After he has given all these answers, is that a foolish person? He has knowledge. He has knowledge. After his compilation, such a great work he did. Yeah. Illusion. Until Raymond came to remove that ignorance, I gave him the real thing. So, attitude is most important. Attitude. If you give something to a person a very condescending way, it's also not a gift because it will demoralize that person's morale and make the person feel useless. Many people are giving gift like that. That the person who is receiving a gift will not be happy to receive it because the way it is given. Attitude is very important. Attitude. Our attitude of service will attract Krishna's attention. There is a story like that in a Bible. There is a story like that in a Bible. Jesus was in the church and thousands of followers are there. And they were giving him varieties of gift, big amount of money. They were giving so much. There was a lady, one lady, very poor. In her entire life, she has only 1 rupee with her. Only 1 rupee, not 2, only 1. Her entire life. That this is the amount of money she's having, only 1 rupee. And she gave all of it to Jesus. Jesus took that and showed it to the crowd. All of you should see, this is the purest gift I have ever received. Oh, what are the millions? What about the millions? Jesus didn't show the millions to them. He showed the 1 rupee. See, the best. What is the best in that 1 rupee? The attitude. That's the only thing she has in her life. She gave all without thinking, what will happen to me tomorrow? But some people, they get billions, millions. He didn't see it. One day we went on Sankirtan. And one devotee distributed only 5 books. And one other god brother, he distributed more than us. He did 45 books. And one did 5. When the result was announced, Gurudev was glorifying the one who distributed 5 books. And the one who did 45. Okay, what is this? I distributed 45 books. He didn't talk about me. 5. So Gurudev said, you have ability to do more. But he didn't do. You did already 5, at 45, and came back feeling proud. But this one, the energy he put into this is more than the energy you put in there 45. Therefore, he's better. He got more purification than you. Attitude. Attitude of service. It's very, very important. In his commentary to this verse, the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura uses the word Durvi Gyayam, which means very difficult to realize. The pure stage of existence is described in Bhagavad Gita 7:28, wherein Krishna says, Yesam tuanta gatam papam jananam punya karamanam te dvandva moha nirvim padantimam tridhavrataha. Persons who have acted partially in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, and who are free from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Thus, although the subject matter is Dulvis Gayam, extremely difficult to understand, it became easy. It becomes easy if one follows the prescribed method. Coming in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is possible through pure devotional service, which begins with Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. In this regard, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakura quote a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhista Karana Randrena Swanam Bhava Saruruham. The process of hearing and chanting enters the core of the heart, and in this way, one becomes a pure devotee. By continuing this process, one comes to the stage of transcendental love, and then he appreciates the transcendental form, name, form, qualities, and persons of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 29.
Anything expressed by material vibrations, anything ascertained by material intelligence, and anything experienced by the material senses or concocted within the material mind is but an effect of the modes of material nature, and therefore has nothing to do with the real nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord is beyond the creation of this material world, for he is the source of the material qualities and creation. As the cause of all causes, he exists before the creation and after the creation. I wish to offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
Very good. Krishna existed before the creation. He is existing during the creation, and he will continue to exist after the creation. This is the Chatusloka, the first one. It's the first one. Krishna is beyond our intelligence, beyond our mind, and beyond our senses. So it cannot be reached. But by his causeless mercy, it can be reached if the senses, the mind, and intelligence is engaged in the service with a proper attitude. Then we begin from the tongue, as is quoted here. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Nambhavar Graham Indriya. Then it will become possible. Otherwise, it's not possible for us to get location by whatever, or concocted names. Krishna is beyond all this. All right, 30.
The Supreme Brahman, Krishna, is the ultimate resting place and source of everything. Everything is done by him, everything belongs to him, and everything is offered to him. He is the ultimate objective, and whatever acting or causing others to act, he is the ultimate doer. There are many causes, high and low, but since he is the cause of all causes, he is well known as the Supreme Brahman, who existed before all activities. He is one without a second and has no other cause. I therefore offer my respects unto him.
Krishna is perfectly described. Is perfectly described. He is beyond the cause of all causes. This world, there are so many lows and highs and whatever situations are all there. But they are all calculated within this material world. But both the high and the low, they are all controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Aham Sarva Sha Prabha. Both the material and the spiritual world are functioning under his control, his supervision. Nothing which is above him. So Daksha is offering respectful obeisances to Krishna. What knowledge of his position? It's not a whimsical glorification. He has a reason for offering obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is original cause as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarva Sha Prabha. Even this material world, which is conducted under the mode of material nature, is caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who therefore also has an intimate relationship with the material world. How Krishna has intimate relationship with the material world? How? What's the Krishna intimate relationship with the material world? Okay, under his control, everything is happening. Intimate, it's mentioned the intimate relationship with the material world. Bahiranga Shakti, external. How is it intimately related? How is it related with the material energy? What is his connection with material energy? Yeah, he's a source. He's a source. He therefore also has an intimate relationship with the material world. If the material world were not a part of his body, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Cause, would be incomplete. Therefore, we hear, if one knows that the Vasudeva is the original cause of all causes, he becomes a perfect Mahatma. How Krishna is intimately related with material energy. Intimate, have close relation. He developed? Atom? Yeah, yes, it's in outside atom. Very good. Yes, he's there in the atom also. Adantarasa Paramanu Chayantarasa. He's connected, he's there. Yeah, inside and outside. Right? Krishna does not have direct connection with material energy. But Vishnu doesn't have direct connection with material energy. He doesn't have direct. Krishna who has direct connection, intimately related with material energy is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva. Sambhu is connected. He had direct connection with Durga, Maya. Has intimate relationship there. Yes, he's also connected because everything is coming from him. Everything is coming from him directly. So he's connected. Which he also philosophically denied. I'm in everything, but not in everything. It's not there. It's there and not there. Simultaneously, one and different. So in this way, he's connected with everything. Yes. 31.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, who possesses unlimited transcendental qualities, acting from within the cores of the hearts of all philosophers who propagate various views. He causes them to forget their own souls, by sometimes agreeing and sometimes disagreeing among themselves. Thus, he creates within this material world a situation in which they are unable to come to a conclusion. I offer my obeisances unto him.
Krishna created what? What Krishna created? He causes them to forget their own souls, while sometimes agreeing and sometimes disagreeing among themselves. Thus, he creates within this material world a situation in which they are unable to come to a conclusion. Who are they? Who are they? Philosophers? Only philosophers? Only philosophers? Mental speculation, the Gyanis. Yes. Do they agree with each other? They would never agree with each other. So Krishna is doing that. Why Krishna is doing it? Why Krishna is doing this? 15:15. Why Krishna is doing this? 15:15. 15:15. Why Krishna is doing this? 15:15. Continue from it now. Yes. Yes. That is a desire. They want to forget Krishna, so Krishna is giving them sufficient reason to forget him. Just like if you want to remember, he'll give us sufficient reason to remember him. So he's not just doing it. He's doing it by our desire. Our desire to come to him, not to come to him. So he gives all the facilities as we want. That is Krishna's nature. It's not a fault, but it's a nature. Philosophy means finding the ultimate cause. As Vedanta Sutra very reasonably says, Atatu Brahma Jigyasa. Human life is meant for understanding the ultimate cause. Devotees accept that the ultimate cause is Krishna because his conclusion is supported in all Vedic literature and also by Krishna himself, who says, Aham Sarvasya Prabha. I am the source of everything. Devotees have no problem understanding the ultimate cause of everything, but non-devotees must face many opposing elements because everyone who wants to be a prominent philosopher invents his own way. Therefore, disagreement. They are not studying to understand the Krishna, they are studying to argue, want to establish their supremacy. Therefore, Krishna gives them the sufficient reasons to do that. Sukadeva Goswami said, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 1. Remember? 2111 or 212? Do you remember? Check. What did it say? Sukadeva Goswami said. Canto 2, Chapter 1. 2111. 1, 2. 1 and 2. Or 1. Use the mic. Use the mic.
My dear King, your question is glorious because it is very beneficial to all kinds of people. The answer to this question is prime subject matter for hearing, and it is approved by all transcendentalists. Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor.
Yes. Those who don't want Krishna, Krishna has given thousands of subject matters to discuss. Because they don't want to hear about Krishna, so you take. And it is going on. Our scientists are facilitating it very nicely. Yeah. It's going on. What Krishna is saying in the scripture, we can see it physically. Every day, our scientists are keeping us in anxiety. Is it not? How many varieties of cell phone we have? How many varieties? Cell phone. Yeah? Thousands. Right? So Krishna used the word Sahasra. So thousands of subjects. Cell phone, what is it do? What is they use for it? Just cell phone. What is they use? Common use for it. Make a call and receive a call, right? So then we're having varieties, thousands of varieties for what? To give us anxiety. Because that's what we want. You want to hear about Krishna? So take this. handle it. And we're rushing. Every year, iPhone is changing. Is it not? Every year, iPhone changes. Yes. Yes, this is the latest one. It is the same thing. Only the figure is changed. 2025 model. Next year is going to be 2026 model. It's the same thing. You're not going to see this is green, this is white, this is yellow, this is pink. Now you're going to call Christian with it. Christian has already his phone number, which cell phone will not use. It doesn't work for that. Only our tongue has to call that. Has to call that Christian direct number. The cell phone cannot call it. Our tongue can call that, which is not given by our scientists. Our tongues are not given by scientists. The tongue is given by Christian himself. So thousands of subject matter for us to discuss because we don't want to hear about him. So he facilitated that. The same thing with automobile, with cars. Varieties of cars are there. Varieties. The same thing. The name is just changed. The shape is just changed. Yes, this is the latest car, Tico. Yes, this will make you happy completely. Yes, then we're rushing. Anxiety. So we don't have time to talk about Krishna, to hear about Krishna. So, and Darsha is offering prayers to Krishna with proper understanding. It's a good understanding. I'm offering your obeisances with full respect. Thus, he created within this material world a situation in which they are unable to come to a conclusion. See, the time how we're doing the same thing. That is the nature of a Gyani. You can go that side, no end. You come this side, no end. You go that side, you come this side, no end. We're doing the same thing also. Sit down, let's discuss. He will present, this is great, so you don't know anything. Wait, let me dismantle it myself. Then he would persist it again. So you don't know anything. Then we assemble it again. You will assemble it a different way. That is not, there's no end. There's no end. Bhakti has a direction. It has a direction. It has a goal. It has a purpose. It has an end. Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna Prem. It's an end. Again, what is the end? Because I have to, if I say something what you are saying, then there's no difference. I have to say something which would oppose what you have said and put a lot of energy to defend that. Yeah, yes, it's great. And how many days that will last? It's finished. Another person will come and push me aside. Another person come push you aside. It's just like that. Bhakti has direction. Therefore, the process of bhakti is supreme and to be followed by those who are fortunate. Now, one may ask why there are so many philosophers if the ultimate goal of philosophy is one. Undoubtedly, the ultimate cause is one, the Supreme Brahman. As Arjuna told Krishna about Gita, Param Brahma, Param Dham, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Sashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. So Arjuna said this, the ultimate is one, the supreme. But why there are so many philosophies? Why? Why there are so many philosophies if the absolute is one person? We don't accept. That is one side. That is just one side. What are the other reasons? If the absolute is one, if God is one, why so many religions? Why? Why so many religions if God is one?
Because everybody is not on that level to understand.
Everybody is on a different level. Therefore, There will be different system for everyone. That is the love of God. That is the love Krishna has for us. That He has given us every reason, every situation to accept Him, to serve Him. So, like we have in schools, primary school is the kindergarten is there. Then you come to primary, then you go to college, you go to university, then you start making research. The same way in God realization, primary beginning is there. So there are so many people who are propounding so many philosophy, and none of them, all of them are useless. But Krishna allows them. Why? Because they will gradually graduate from there and come to where we are. And don't forget that we also came from there also. You should not think that we didn't come from there. We came from there after so much speculation for many lifetimes. And then we were made fortunate to be given this opportunity. So it's a great fortune to be a devotee, to take to Krishna with a great fortune. It will take a long time to come here where we are. Therefore, we should take it very seriously. We should not take it cheaply. We should not take it cheaply. When devotee wrote a Prabhupada letter, and there he was asking, Srila Prabhupada, I have seen many devotees giving up Krishna consciousness. So what should I do so I don't fall also like them? Prabhupada said, then you should chant minimum 16 rounds without offense daily. You should keep the principles strictly. Have faith in both the Guru and Krishna and the Shastra. And he said, don't take this process cheaply. Don't take it cheaply. It's not cheap. Yes. These speculators are envious of the existence of the Lord. Jagadahu and Ishvara. Their conclusion is that the entire cosmic manifestation has no controller, but it is just working naturally. Those they are kept in constant darkness, birth after birth, and cannot understand the real cause of all causes. This is the reason why there are so many schools of philosophical speculation. 32.
There are two parties, namely the theists and the atheist. The theist who accepts the super soul finds the spiritual cause through mystic yoga. The Sankhya, however, who merely analyzes the material elements, comes to a conclusion of impersonalism and does not accept a supreme cause, whether Bhagavan, Paramatma, or even Brahman. Instead, he is preoccupied with the superfluous external activities of material nature. Ultimately, however, both parties demonstrate the absolute truth because, although they offer opposing statements, their object is the same ultimate cause. They are both approaching the same Supreme Brahman, to whom I offer my respectful obeisances.
Very good. Actually, there are two sides to this argument. Some say that the Absolute has no form, Nirakara. And others say that the Absolute has a form, Sakara. Therefore, the word form is the common factor, although some accept it as T or Astika, whereas others try to negate it, Nastic or Nastika. Since the devotee considers the Lord's form, Akara, a common factor for both, he offers his respectful obeisance to the form, although others may go on arguing about Nasti, whether the Absolute has a form or not. In this ways, the word Yoga Sankhya Yoga is very important. Yoga means Bhakti Yoga, because yogis also accept the existence of the all-pervading Supreme Soul and try to see that Supreme Soul within the heart, as said in Bhagavatam. Dhyana vasistha tat gatena manasa pashanti jam yogina. The devotee tries to come directly in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas the yogi tries to find the Super Soul within the heart by meditation. Thus, both directly and indirectly, yoga means bhakti yoga. Sankhya, however, means physical study of the cosmic situation through speculative knowledge. And both of them, Sankhya and Bhakti, in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada is saying they are the same. They are the same in the sense that ultimately, when we come to the perfect platform of understanding Krishna is the Supreme, while the Sankhya will take a long time to go all around, calculating all the elements and analyzing them carefully until you come to find. But who is the source of all this? Then you come to this, which will take a long time. And it is sure that there is accident on the way. Not very many people who follow that path will reach the ultimate. Even on the royal road, which is like Bhakti Yoga, on the royal road is a chance of accident. What about the rough road? There's no certainty of danger of having accident than the royal one. So as there is danger in the royal road, there's also more of danger in the rough road. It's better for us, of course, it depends on our fortune to take to Krishna consciousness, because some people they don't have the fortune to come to Bhakti Yoga. You have to waste time to speculate, to go all over before coming to accept that this is the ultimate. It is not easy to take to Krishna consciousness. In fact, the most difficult thing for anyone to do in this world is what's the most difficult thing one can ever do in life? Krishna consciousness. It's Krishna consciousness. Go to any college, after 5 years, you're a graduate. Is it not? How many lifetimes to be a graduate, become a PhD? Even though Prabhupada say one lifetime. But how many times you've taken? You've taken many times. As a Prabhupada quoting his Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, my Gurudev wanted all his disciples to go back to God at this lifetime. And he, Prabhupada, also repeating the same thing. I am praying that in this lifetime, a disciple will become pure devotee and take me back to Godhead. This is his humility. But it's not happening like that. It's not happening like that. Why is it not happening like that? Why not one lifetime? Why is it taking so many lifetimes? Our childhood expectation of all of us is back home, one lifetime. Why is it taking us so long? What is responsible for that? Why is it taking us so long? Prabhupada wanted us to go this time, but this says what? They wanted to go this time. This time we should go. But why is it taking us so long? That was my. Thank you very much. That Prabhupada himself said it in one of his purports. Canto 1, chapter 2, text 17 purport. And Prabhupada said many people doesn't want to go back to Godhead. His expectation is that we should go, but the same he knows that many of us are not going. Canto 1, chapter 2, text 17 purport. Prabhupada mentioned it there. Many Hare Krishna devotees don't want to go back to Godhead. Even though Krishna has given all the facility, but still we don't want to go. And in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 12, purport. 9:12 purport. Prabhupada also said, so many Hare Krishna devotees consider themselves to be a devotee. They consider themselves to be devotees, but in the heart, they don't accept Krishna as the Supreme Godhead. 9:12 purport.
Yeah. 1 to 17.
Yes, 1 to 17.
1 to 17. The Lord is so kind to us that he can be present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom that we can desire. Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a very few men want to go back to Godhead. But anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna helps in all respects.
See, he desires that we should go, but at the same time, he's not foolish. he knows he's seeing from all our attitude in Krishna consciousness. He's seeing everything. Many of us doesn't want to go. Only very few people will make it. Majority of us will not make it. He didn't close the gate. He opened the gate. It's open. But it depends on us. Yes. The Vedic mantra says, Apani Pado Javano Grahita. The Supreme Lord has no legs and hands, but he can accept whatever is offered to him. Actually, such statements accept that the Supreme has hands and legs, but deny that he has material hands and legs. This is why the Absolute is called Aprakrita. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, has a Satchidananda Vigraha, a form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, not a material form. The Sankhites or Gyanis deny the material form, and the devotees also know very well that the absolute truth, Bhagavan, has no material form. So this argument is always there. The conception of the absolute without hands and legs and the conception of the absolute with hands and legs are apparently contradictory, but they both coincide with the same truth about the supreme absolute person. Therefore, the word Vastu Nishtayo, which is used herein, indicates that both the yogis and the Sankhyas have faith in the reality, but are arguing about it from the different viewpoint of material and spiritual identities. Brahma or Brihat is a common point. The Sankhya and yogis are both situated in that same Brahman, but they differ because of different angles of vision. The Bhaktas know that the Supreme Person has no material form, whereas the Gyanis simply deny the material form. One should therefore take shelter of Bhakti Marga, the path of devotion. Then everything will be clear. In conclusion, the learned scholars find no contradictions in the devotee's concentration upon the spiritual form of the Lord, Ishwara Paramakrishna Satchidananda Vigraha. In this regard, Srila Madhvacharya says that less intelligent non-devotees think that their conclusion is the ultimate, but because devotees are completely learned, they can understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal. 33 to 34, the Lord's names and forms are transcendental, but he appears in lower forms also. Next, 33.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is inconceivably opulent, who is devoid of all material names, forms, and pastimes, and who is all-pervading, is especially merciful to the devotees who worship his lotus feet. Thus he exhibits transcendental forms and names with his different pastimes. May that Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose form is eternal and full of knowledge and bliss, be merciful to me.
Thank you. Is it partiality? Is it partiality? What is it? The Lord is all-pervading, is especially merciful to the devotees who worship his lotus feet. This is not partiality. This is natural. They worship him as a person, so he appears to them as a person. For those who do not accept him as a person, he also appears to them as nobody. Yes. In regard to the significant word, Anama Rupa, Sri Sridhara Swami says, Prakrita Nama Rupe Rahitopi. The word Anama, which means having no name, indicates that the Supreme Personality of God has no material name. Simply by chanting the name of Narayan to call his son, Jamila, attain salvation. This means that Narayan is not an ordinary mundane name. It is non-material. The word Anama therefore indicates that the names of the Supreme Lord do not belong to this material world. The vibration of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is not a material sound. And similarly, the form of the Lord and his appearance and activities are all non-material. To show his causeless mercy to the devotees, as well as to the non-devotees, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appears in this material world with names, forms, and pastimes, all of which are transcendental. Unintelligent men who cannot understand this think that these names, forms, and pastimes are material, and therefore they deny that he has a name or a form. Why did he accept the form? Why the person didn't accept the form? What is the reason for not accepting the form and the name? What is the reason? So, yeah. Yes, the same.
If we think that there is so much problem in name and form here, so if Lord also has form and name, that means that is also.
Yes, they're thinking about the Lord according to our own situation. So all forms in this world has some defect. They are conditioned. So if the Lord has form, he also become a conditioned person, conditioned soul. That is their foolishness. That is true. That's why they don't accept the form. They don't understand that. And then they also, we see them, they worship. Also, the Mayavadis, they also have deities. What is the understanding about deities? This is a means to attain Brahman. It's a means. So once you attain Brahman, you can discard it. You see many people after worshiping in Ganesh for 1 month, what do they do? Throw away. Because it's material. If it's material, how can he fulfill their desires? The same understanding. Otherwise, the devotee will not worship deity and throw away. The worship of deity will keep for eternity. We don't throw away. Because we know that the Lord's form is eternal. It's not formless. The Lord is not formless. And we have explained many times that it's nothing like formlessness. That doesn't exist. Formlessness is due to frustration. They are frustrated because they cannot find reason to the form. They can't establish it. They cannot appreciate it. Therefore, no form. What is the problem if a commissioner of a prison goes to the prison to visit? What is the problem? He's a commissioner for prisons. If he visits the prison, does he become a prisoner? No. Actually, his visit there is for the benefit of the prisoners. Because whenever they visit, they will give some amnesty to the people, release them after 3 months. So it's very auspicious for the commissioner to visit the prison because it's beneficial. Similarly, it is benediction for all of us, conditions for Krishna to come here. When Krishna comes here, the devotees are so happy. And then he gives us the opportunity to see him, to hear about him, his activities, to become attracted to. So for our own benefit. So it's good for the Lord to come here. Just like it's good for the director to come to visit the company. Right? It is his company. He has the right to visit there. And when he visits there and appreciate the manager who is there, he gets promotion. This is for the benefit of the workers. So Krishna comes for benefit, but because they don't have the knowledge, they are frustrated. So it doesn't have form. Our charities say it has form. Yes. And its name is not material like a proper said. Just calling Narayan Ajahmana, he got liberated, even though he was not calling Narayan. But Narayan says, my name is calling. Let me do something. And he got what he didn't bargain. Because the name of the Lord is auspicious. So he got that blessing. Next.
As the air carries various characteristics of the physical elements, like the aroma of a flower or colors resulting from a mixture of dust in the air, the Lord appears through lower systems of worship according to one's desires, although he appears as the demigods and not in his original form. What is the use of these other forms? May the original Supreme Personality of Godhead please fulfill my desires.
Very good. In a prayer in Srimad Bhagavatam, 20 says, my dear Lord, you exist inside and outside, yet no one can see you. The conditioned soul cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by speculative knowledge or by imagination. One must therefore know the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By his grace, the Lord will reveal himself by his grace. He reveals himself, but he cannot be understood by speculation. Only by his grace. He shows us his mercy. This is a verdict of the Shastra. An ordinary man may be a great philosopher and may speculate upon what the absolute is. What is his form and where he is existing, but he cannot understand the truth. This truth. Sebonbuke hijuado swayam eva spuratiada. One can understand the Supreme Personality only through devotional service. This is also explained by the Supreme Personality of God himself, Bhagavad Gita. Bhaktyama Mabijanahati, the one yastasmi tatutaha. One can understand the Supreme Personality of God as he is only by devotional service. Unintelligent persons want to imagine or concoct a form of the Supreme Personality of God. Born devotee want to worship the actual personality of Godhead. Therefore, Daksa prays. One may think of you as personal, impersonal, or imaginary, but I wish to pray to your Lordship that you fulfill my desires to see you as you are, as you actually are. That is the conclusion. As you actually are. Yes. 35 to 39.
Sri Sukadev Goswami said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who is extremely affectionate to his devotees, was very pleased by the prayers offered by Daksha, and thus he appeared at the holy place known as Agamarsana. O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the Kuru dynasty, the Lord's lotus feet rested on the shoulders of his carrier Garuda, and he appeared with 8 long, mighty, very beautiful arms. In his hands he held a disc, console, sword, shield, arrow, bow, rope, and club. In each hand a different weapon, all brilliantly shining. His garments were yellow, and his bodily hue was hue deep bluish. His eyes and face were very cheerful, and from his neck to his feet hung a long garland of flowers. His chest was decorated with the Kaustuba jewel and the mark of Srivastava. On his head was a gorgeous round helmet, and his ears were decorated with earrings resembling sarks. All these ornaments were uncommonly beautiful. The Lord wore a golden belt on his waist, bracelets on his arms, rings on his fingers, and ankle bells on his feet. Thus decorated by various ornaments, Lord Hari, who is attractive to all the living entities of the three worlds, is known as Purushottama, the best personality. He was accompanied by great devotees like Narada, Nanda, and all the principal demigods, led by the heavenly king Indra, and the residents of various upper planetary systems such as Siddhaloka, Gandharvaloka, and Charanaloka. Situated on both sides of the Lord and behind him as well, these devotees offered him prayers continuously.
Is this imagination? Is this imagination?
No.
Indra is not existing. Indra is not existing. It's existing. Who would not like to see this? Who would not like to see this? Beautiful, beautiful garlands. Is it beautiful? Is it false? Is it gallant? Is it false? Why are they denying themselves of enjoyment? This is real. The Lord is decorated various ornaments, various. When you see Jagannath Pradesh, whether see Radha, Lavachanda, see Gauranitai, are they empty? Is imagination? Very beautiful, very sweet. Who would not like to see this? This is life. This is Krishna, it is imagination. But they don't have access to this. See how they're cheating themselves. This is karma. We call karma. They cannot see this. But every day we are having this. Beautiful. When we spend our life decorating the Lord so beautiful like this. You understand what we're doing? We're dealing with the Lord, the Supreme Lord. We have the opportunity to do this every day, touching the Lord every day. It's a great fortune. Beautiful. The Lord is happy. Give blessings for us to go there. But they don't have access to this. Now the moon is here. Nanda, Sunanda, all the principal demigod, Lord Indra, all of them are here enjoying the Lord. Enjoying the Lord. Let us join the Lord and his associate in his enjoyment. This is what Daksha saw. He saw this. Not imagination. So let's see, next 40.
Seeing that wonderful and effulgent form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prajapati Daksha was first somewhat afraid, but then he was very pleased to see the Lord, and he fell to the ground like a stick, Dandavat, to offer his respects to the Lord.
Same thing happened to Dhira Maharaj. See, the scripture repeating the same thing. Do they do this at the same time? Daksha and Dhira Maharaj, do they do that at the same time? They did at different times. Different times, and the same result is taking place. It means what? It's real. Anything which is authentic, which is original, will be consistent. Anything which is affected by time is not original, not eternal, it's not absolute. If it is absolute, it must be consistent at all ages, all times, not affected by time, not affected by space, but affected by circumstances. That is absolute. So we're seeing what Damodara saw in Satya Yoga. We're seeing the same thing happening to Daksha. Daksha was somewhat afraid, but then he was very pleased to see the Lord. So beautiful, just standing before him. And he fell to the ground like a stick, downward, to offer his respect to the Lord and to happiness. 41.
As rivers are filled by water flowing from a mountain, all of Daksha's senses are filled with pleasure. Because of his highly elevated happiness, Daksha could not say anything, but simply remained flat on the ground.
Very sweet. When one actually realizes or sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is filled with complete happiness. For example, when Damodara saw the Lord in his presence, he said, Swami Kritartos mi Varamna Yaje. My dear Lord, I have nothing to ask from you. Now I am completely satisfied. Similarly, when Prajapati Daksha saw the Supreme Lord in his presence, he simply fell flat, unable to speak or ask him for anything. It is said in the Bible, so the eye that sees God shall die. The eye that sees God shall die. It means what? When one sees Krishna, you can never be the same person again. Transformation will take place automatically. This is what is happening to Daksha. So it has happened to Maharaj. It happened to Narada. All of them having the same experience. Now he's happy. The Lord Maharaj, he forgot that he had gone to the forest to ask for a boon. And now the personality has come to grant him that boon. He said, no, I don't want again. Please forgive me. Envious demigod influenced my intelligence. That I did not ask you for pure love of Godhead. I asked for material things. But now, because of your presence, has purified me from that contamination. Please, I don't want again. This is a sign of advancement in Krishna consciousness. That we don't have desire for the things we are attracted to before taking to Krishna consciousness. They are no more attractive to us. That's the proof. Yes, this advancement is taking place. All the things I was attracted to, all the things I liked before, all the things that I cherish very much, they are useless for me now. It's advancement. One can know that yes, advancement is going on. Don't I said, I don't want again, please. I don't want. Not only I don't want. Forgive me for the offense of asking you for it. It's an offense for asking you for material things. Forgive me. And the Christian said, don't worry. 36,000 years for you, for sanctification. 36,000 years, no old age. That means what? You have the strength to gratify the senses fully. That's what it means. No old age. Old age will affect our gratification. You can't eat like before, you can't run like before, you don't have the same appetite, no. Krishna said, no old age for you. You remain 5 years like this and continue to enjoy for 36,000 years. So Buddha didn't get old. 36,000 years, that is a long time. No old age. So remain 5 years. This is Krishna consciousness. This is Krishna consciousness. Daksha, although his own position is inferior to that of Odom Maharaj, but still, he saw the Lord face to face, and all is very happy. What a blessing. 42. What the Lord said.
Although Prajapati Daksha could not say anything, when the Lord, who knows everyone's heart, saw his devotee prostrate in that manner and desiring to increase the population, he addressed him as follows.
Very good. 43 to 45. Krishna will speak to him. Your life is successful by your activities, by your austerities. I am pleased because you want to increase the population. Who will not be happy to hear this from your guru? Who will not be happy? Your guru telling you your life is successful. Proper Thomas spiritual master like that, very famous. Your life is successful. By your austerities, I am pleased because you want to increase the population. 43 to 45. 43. Let's hear what the Lord said.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O most fortunate Prachetas, because of your great faith in me, Prachetasa, because of your great faith in me, you have attained the supreme devotional ecstasy. Indeed, because of your austerities, combined with exalted devotion, your life is now successful. You have achieved complete perfection.
Wonderful. As the Lord himself confirms in Bhagavad Gita 8:15, one reaches the highest perfection when he attains the fortune of realizing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mam upetya punarajanma duklayam asashatam tamnu banti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gatha. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. Therefore, the Krishna consciousness movement teaches one to follow the path towards the topmost perfection simply by performing devotional service. Hare Krishna. Any comments? Comments?
As you said, Dhruva Maharaj and Daksha both got darshan of Lord, Dhruva and Daksha. So here also Lord is saying, I am very pleased with your austerity and devotion. But we don't see the transformation of heart which Dhruva felt. He got transformed. He didn't ask for any material benediction and he felt very bad. But Daksha, when he got his material benediction fulfilled, and he continued his materialistic way of life. So why the transformation is not happening, or what's the reason which our heart is not getting transformed?
Yes, Daksha is very offensive. It's an offensive personality. It's not Daksha for Krishna consciousness. It's Daksha for sense gratification. And anyone who is attached to a sense gratification cannot be free from offenses. Cannot be free. Only if one is free from sense gratification that who can avoid making offenses. Because that verse you quoted, second canto 1-2, in a purport, proper mention Grihamedi and Grihasta. Grihamedi, he said, those who are jealous of others. Grihamedi, jealous of others. See, you can avoid offenses to somebody. Not possible. Because material desire means what? I envy you. To envy you is easy to make offense. Therefore, he continuously make offenses, even with all the blessings he got. You will see that he's going to curse Narada next chapter. For what? Doing something which he cannot do. And Prabhupada mentioned one of the purports that a father and mother should be respected only if they are training the children to become Krishna conscious. Otherwise, they should not be respected. Narada should be respected because Narada is giving the children Krishna consciousness. 11,000 children, Narada Muni deliver all of them. But Dasa couldn't deliver not even one. And he has his own nonsense philosophy, which he will give. So he cannot be free from offenses. Therefore, he's not pure. But Dhira Maharaj is pure. He went back to Godhead. That's it. Something else? Thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. What time will we meet tomorrow? Huh? 10:45. Okay. See you tomorrow, 10:45.